And Carl was like that, and we were thrilled and lucky to have worked with him.
Actually, there's one other observation, and it's also during the working process, is not just the starting of the process, the creation of it, is once the work gets underway, then you have to just slog through real difficult, tedious bits of work, such as time code and all this stuff. And one thing I noticed about Carl was that he had an excellent work ethic, which was no matter how difficult, how brain-numbing the project was, certain aspects of the project was, he was a detail person. He made sure all the details were done right, and he would work hard on it. And there was one thing that he said that stuck with me is, when there was just when there were parts of the project that were just hard and it was a lot of work, Carl would just say, "Don't worry, I'll piss it out." So it was just like that. That's how he just I guess powered through sometimes the parts of the project that you don't want to deal with, but were still important to be done.
Our heads are still wet from that project.
You serve the white shirt.
Okay, this is a question for those of you who worked with Carl on Robotech. But what was your fondest memory of working with him on Robotech back in the day?
I think when he said, "That's a wrap." That would have been at 4 in the morning.
Lots of hands. Right there, yep.
Were you guys allowed to, much like a Conan O'Brien skit, to improvise your own script?
No.
Let me answer that too. No. And because the problem was that we were trying to do something that hadn't been done very much. We were actually trying to match the mouth movements of the Japanese, and they were speaking Japanese, so we were trying to fit English words into those mouths pretty closely. I know, that's why I didn't.
We didn't have Pro Tools.
So, yeah, that's true. When we started out, we did not have Pro Tools. We weren't able to take a recorded loop and shift it a little bit. We didn't have beeps. There's a thing called cue beeps in this work where when you're getting ready to do the line, you'll hear beep, 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 and you go on the fourth imaginary beep. We didn't have that at the beginning. We actually had to eyeball the time code and try and catch the start. And then they could make a little adjustment in the editing, but not a lot. You know, we do it over and
You had to
over.
go over and over until you got it in the pocket, so it was perfect, and then you go on to the next loop.
Yeah.
So it was the people that grew up on that can do any kind of dubbing, really.
Yeah.
The pink
See it
stripes.
Will there be a successor for Carl? Or is that not?
I don't know how you create a successor for somebody that was just all creativity like that. I mean, somebody will come along to do the work that Carl would have done. And somebody will have to because there's going to be more material. But you know, the guy that had the idea, the guy that had the original ideas, he isn't going to be there to help us. So we're going to have to slog through the best we can. Hopefully make it good.
Gentleman standing way in the back. Yep.
I finally got the Robotech Seattle Chronicles prequel collected volume comic. Thank you for finally releasing it. And do you think you might ever see some more Robotech comics in the future?
Did you show up a little bit late?
Yes.
Oh, okay, because during the earlier in the we were actually covering that in December we're going to have a large compilation of all the Macross stories collected in one giant book that's coming out for Christmas this year.
Okay, what about like new stories in comics?
Yeah, we actually have some, but they're not on the schedule yet, so we'll announce those when they come on the schedule.
You sir in the green hat.
Quick question. I mean, I know it's last specifically, but music. We have Mid-May, Dancer, Janice. Will there be any pop titles in the future for Robotech as like the new Mid-May or more musical material locally in the series for the future for Robotech?
Yes, Vince Grant is coming out with an album. It's called Vince Grant Sings the Beach Boys. And it's going to to be a big hit, so go out and buy it.
Oh, by the way, Richard Epcar is an awesome drummer.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
his band regularly plays at the House of Blues.
Thank you.
So if you check
Thank you
on
for the plug.
Robotech.com,
We're called the LA River Band.
or go on to Robotech Facebook, you'll find out when he performs. And actually, there's a bunch of folks associated with Robotech who are musically talented. So yeah, definitely.
Actually, you've got your own Facebook page too for that, right?
Yes.
It's the LA River Band, so look for that on Facebook.
Good question. I'm going to give you an alpha fighter. It's a Lancer. All right. Let's see, over here. Way over here. Lady of cat ears.
Hannah. Hannah ears.
Hand ears. I'm so my apologies.
First, I want to say thank you to voice actors, actually everybody up there. I was introduced to Robotech by him, and we actually used.
How could you?
Good job!
We used a lot of music from anime in our wedding, and one of the most special songs was "Together," and that was played during our Unity ceremony. And I guess just what are your reactions in general to how it's touched people in a way like that, especially for Svea?
Well, I think that's wonderful that you were touched in that way. I think that the music from the series was great. And, you know, there was a lot of original music that was produced for the show. And I thought the music was uplifting and poignant and exciting. And I think music is a universal communication for people. You don't have to speak a particular language to be touched by music, even if you don't understand the lyrics. And I just think that's wonderful that you incorporated that into your wedding. And I also...
I'm dead? And then, like a few weeks later, he was called back, and he goes, "Oh, I got work again?" They brought me back, and he goes, "Oh, damn, it was only a flashback?"
Dan, do that too. Dangle the carrots.
Dan's a good actor, but his voice was so recognizable as Roy Fokker. It was very difficult to cast him in something else because it would really have to be entirely different, or people would be questioning, what happened?
He briefly played Bill the janitor, but that didn't work out too well.
You know, one of the things that you have to remember is that outside of the main characters, we did not know the stories. We would go in and we'd just see our little section of the story. If you were in a Wallace session, which I was many a time, you know, what I remember is grabbing the different characters and then everybody getting slap happy and throwing baffling at each other at 3 in the morning, which is a terrible admission, but it's really awful because it was 25 years ago and you don't know what your segment was. Because we did not read the scripts. They didn't send the scripts home with us. They said, okay, here's your part from this to this, and that's what we did.
Just make Kramer leave. I don't know.
What are you doing?
Some of that baffling that I threw at you. I'm making a pillow. Yeah.
Hey, Dominic, we're going to give you a Valkyrie. How's that sound?
Can I arm wrestle you for that, Dominic?
That's wrong.
You're going to add that episode?
Well, like she said, I don't remember the episodes. I just remember falling out of a plane a lot of times, and my skirt would go up, and then I'd have to scream. And
To the gentleman in the green shirt.
I did a shower scene too.
Green shirt gentleman, right? Say that again, please.
Pardon me? Our favorite characters?
Our favorite characters are the ones we did.
Okay, over here, in the back.